some more happy news on the chicken front is because we had another one who was missing for a while. So this chickie chick, she was the one of the three we hatched with the brooder plate at the very beginning of the year. We had two roosters and this young lady. And she has just shown up now. She's been missing for 3 weeks. And she's just shown up now with this clutch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think she's got 10. This is fantastic. Yay! Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pike Homestead. So today I'm taking a break from doing some work in the barn because we've got some other things that need to do for our seasonal prep here. Just to give you an idea where we're at, we had our first frost not last night but the night before, and so that means it's time for some of the summer stuff we put out to be taken down. So today I am going to be putting down the pool. We honestly really didn't use it that much this year. It was just a handful of times. The kids really loved having it. But yeah, especially with the girls, they don't know how to swim yet. Just because, I don't know, I'm not a big pool person myself, so, going in, the Harrison at least is tall enough to walk around in it, so, his swimming is coming along, but it's not there yet. So we've never really been big on doing that. Caroline's more into it than I am, but, it's also just because we'd always have to go somewhere. So now we have this one, but, given the weather and the amount of time it takes for the thing to warm up, it's, if it takes 2 or 3 days up here to get enough heat in it to make it, comfortable to swim in, then that kind of limits your days. And we had a lot of rain through the summer this year. And then, with our other issues with our diet and our health and everything and lack of energy and all that, as we're trying to sort through everything this year and figure things out and get our plan going and figure out what to focus on and everything like that, as well as all the work that needs to be done. I mean, it's really only been since, August that we've been able to actually keep things up consistently, and then we're too busy, prepping for what we want to do with the farm as we figured out our direction here to really get in the pool enough. So that's unfortunate, but it's left us with some knowledge for next year. One of the big mistakes we made is we put it up a little bit too early, because no sooner did we put it up than the skies were filled with all the tree fluff, all the pollen and stuff coming through, and that clogged up the filter right away. Oh, I've got some criminals following me around today. What are you doing right out here? You're supposed to be back at the barn. Oh. And there's always a cat. Always. Anyway. The dogs are inside, so they're not chasing the goats away. They like to follow around and do stuff with us when the dogs aren't barking at them. So, and the dogs we have keeping closer to the house. As long as they don't get into too much trouble, which with those three, they do. Anyway, so, we put it up, probably about a week too early. And so that kind of clogged up the filter and everything, and it's just keeping the filter going and keeping the chlorine up. It's just not something I was able to keep up with this year. I mean, I know it's just one pool and everything, but it was just one more thing on my list when, we're at the start of building our homestead. So, it's important for us to give the kids a lot of fun and stuff to do here to enjoy themselves. And the trampoline, at least, was a huge hit. They still use it every day as long as it's not raining. And that's going to have to come down in the next week or so because it's not going to like snow. But the pool, I think, it was a bit of a letdown for us this year. Honestly, if given the choice, I don't know if I'd buy one again, at least at this point. But as long as we can, get the kids learning how to swim properly and everything in the future, it's a good investment. We have some plans to do a little bit better. Like, we couldn't find a flat enough spot. Like, we put it in the flattest spot we could find, and it was still kind of, like 2 inches of difference on the water up the sides from side to side here. So like we need to get a more level spot. Like, there's no concrete on the property, so I'd have to put down a fairly large concrete slab for it, which is something I'd like to do anyway, because then it gives us a nice level spot to set up a skating rink and stuff in the winter, because that's something we can do in our yard here. So I'd love to do that. And then it's also looking at how we go about covering it, because again, the bugs and the leaves and everything like that, it adds more work to do to be able to use it. And of course, it's something we weren't doing regularly, so like if you're doing it regularly, it would be a little bit easier. But a lot of the times we weren't doing it regularly, so it ended up being a 2-hour job just so we could swim in the pool that afternoon. And at the end, we just weren't using it after all our guests were gone and everything. I think we went in it maybe one more time, and that was at the start of August. So we've also had enough rain at such frequency that we didn't have the temperatures again to keep it warm enough to be swimming in it for that long, because we're getting rain every 3-4 days this year, I think, and the temperature drop would be 5-10 degrees without the sun baking us for 18 hours a day. So you're going from 30 down to 20, and then the water just doesn't retain the heat over the course of the day to be swimmable. Only like overnight, when you're going down into the teens. This is all Celsius, by the way, because we're Canadian. So it's getting not really cold, but not warm and stuff for swimming a lot. But again, we had some good times in it. When we used it, it was fantastic. We just didn't get a chance to use it enough this year. So, I'd want to get some better infrastructure in for the future if this is what we're going to do. So I'd want to get, a concrete pad on it, and possibly put up a shelter over top of it. Something that we can, close up to keep the bugs out, but still let the heat in. So whether that turns into being like a solarium type of thing with glass walls on the south side, which again would kind of kill the idea of using it for doing an ice rink, because then it might just be too warm to, with the sun shining in the winter. I don't know how that would work in minus 40. Is one of those things we'd have to try and find out. But yeah, so, ideally we've got that whole section there, like between the two sheds. Do that as just a big pad, cover part of it up. Sorry, sunlight. Cover part of it up with kind of a solarium type of thing, with the windows on, facing south towards the barn there. And it would be plenty warm during the summer, and also, cut down the amount of work it is to maintain the thing and keep it usable, so we can get in it more often, get the kids swimming more comfortably, and then be able to let them do it themselves, right? Like, as long as I'm working out here, they can be playing in it, and if I don't need to be holding them because they can swim, that would be fantastic. This cat follows us everywhere. It's not her, it's one of her kittens. Anyway, so I'm going to get working on taking down the pool and plan for next year or the year after on how we're going to handle it better. And yeah, just get it cleaned up and get ready for winter here. I mean, the pool's already empty. I'd emptied it like a week ago. And we had, I wasn't keeping up on the maintenance for it, so it was starting to grow some algae. It actually wasn't really too bad with the algae. It was just pollen gathering up in the bottom because we hadn't been cleaning it and running the filter because we weren't using it. So, it's just a matter, we gotta get the rest of the water out and then spray the thing off and get all the dirt and stuff off of it, and then put it away once it's dried up. So we're supposed to have a good stretch of sunny weather, so it should hopefully dry up pretty quickly. I'm probably going to have to put it in the shop here overnight just to keep the dew and frost off it once we get it, kind of cleaned up. And yeah, and then just gotta get the frame down and get it all apart. So I'm gonna get started with that. Alright, so that's that down and taken care of, and next is going to be the trampoline. So we'll probably do that in a couple of days here. Just give, it'll either be days or a week, and we'll just, I think. The guineas are doing really well. They've settled in. They like perching up high now that they are out of the cage.